I'm actually curious to hear what he has to say about the Warcraft launch date.
Talking about our favorite game again, World of Warcraft. Blizzard just announced that World of Warcraft Dragonflight will be available to be played before the 31st of December 2022. You heard that right. And already I hear pitchforks in the background. You don't even play World of Warcraft anymore. You don't deserve to be talking about the game.
I hate
by the
that.
way, the equivalent logic is that if you do not play basketball yourself, you cannot be commenting on the NBA. But hey, it's my channel and so far I only have a table and a VPN sponsor. I'm looking for a Pitchfork Emporium sponsor.
Okay.
So I'm going to make this video. First up, let me just say that
I think actually WoW should listen more to the people that haven't played that have quit the game more than the people that have played the game. Because more people that have quit the game have, there's way more people. If you look at all the people that have ever played WoW, there's way more people that have quit WoW than played WoW. They should listen to like why people stopped playing and moved away from the game.
I am thoroughly shocked when I woke up and I saw the news that they're releasing Dragonflight this year. Why?
It's
well,
crazy.
Let's recall what they've shown us so far. I believe they've shown us 2 talent trees. They have shown you efforts to revamp the UI, which, let's be honest, most people will use Elf UI or some variant anyway. Yeah. And they have confirmed that player power will come in the good form of talent trees, like in the good old days. And apparently just tied to your character level, which, credit where credit is due, that's a good move. I'm assuming they are not keeping any secret hidden grinds or player power unannounced to us that we will only...
I don't think they're doing that either. I feel like if they do that, it's just a bad decision. They'd be stupid to do that.
We have to uncover in the alpha and beta ourselves. And for the people who say, nah, Blizzard have already stated explicitly that there will no longer be external powers like that because they have introduced the talent trees. Let me remind you, the same company also told us, you cannot buy gear with real money in Diablo Immortal. But in the end, Diablo Immortal is probably the most pay-to-win game ever. Why? Because apparently you can buy gems that are not deemed as gear to them.
Oh, it's not gear,
All
but
I'm
it
saying
basically
is their written word is not gospel. Wait till you see it in the game. But let's just say we give them the benefit of the doubt. They've also shown us how dragons will fly in the game and you can do cool stuff with your mount. And they've also shown us the new race. They've shown us the new class, the Invoker. More specifically, they've shown us some animations and models related to that. And then they've shown us the new cinematic. And beyond that, did they really show anything concrete? Not really. As of making of this video, it's the 22nd of June. June is essentially up, which leaves us with July to December. So in 6 months, Blizzard needs to start the alpha testing that they have not started as of now, by the way. Not only that, they need to do beta testing. And on top of that, they are supposed to take in the feedback from users from alpha and beta to improve the game, to make sure it's ready for launch. Now, I do not need to tell you what happened in the last expansion. The importance of listening to player feedback. Remember Shadowlands beta? Remember Shadowlands?
All they had to do was listen to what people said, and the game would have been 1,000 times better. Hopefully this time, if Blizzard doesn't do it this time around, I don't know what to say.
Alpha? Remember when all the content creators said pull the ripcord movement, do not introduce covenants? Remember that? Remember that period of time? And what did Blizzard do? They came out to say, don't worry folks, we would balance covenants equally. It will be perfectly balanced. Don't you worry. Alright, we gave them the benefit of the doubt. Fast forward 12 months later, covenants turned out to be one of the most contentious thing of Shadowlands. So if you're telling me that in 6 months, they are going to launch Dragonflight where we haven't even seen anything like how many dungeons is it launching with? What are the new dungeons? What will the first raid even potentially be like? Is there any changes to the PvP system? Any changes to the Great Vault system? Then all these things are not ironed out and they intend to launch the game in 6 months. Again, I
think that they have announced how PvP gear is going to be different, and I think that I think that's going to be a good thing. Like, I'm glad that they're changing PvP gear, and I think the decision that they're making for it is smart. To where, like, the upgrades only apply to its PvE item level, and you get it at its base max for PvP item level. Also, the Great Vault, I think, is totally fine as well. The only thing that I'd like to see is maybe a smarter system with it being able to identify slots that you have lower level gear in, or slots that you haven't received a piece in, and preferentially give you more pieces of that slot. I think overall it's skeptical
that this is not a cash grab. I truly want the game to succeed. As much as there's a part of me, a childlike part of me, that is still clinging on to that vision of stepping into Elwyn Forest and being absolutely captivated by the game. And I remember saying to myself as a child that I'll play this game forever. There's a part of me, that old part of me, that secretly still harbors a bit of hope. And maybe Dragonflight will be good. But the announcement of this...
I think most people think that. Like, most people are hoping in the back of their mind, they're like, please just be good again so I can play this game and not hate myself. There's a lot of people that feel exactly like him.
Release date essentially has thrown all hopes out of the window. To me, this is a very clearly monetary driven one. It's clear they want to book the sales of the expansion, all those 6-month subs they are able to lock in ahead of time, all those people who pre-ordered the epic edition just because they gave you one golden shiny dragon or something like that, because they want to book it for this fiscal year. They want to book it for Q4 in the holiday season. I think I speak for a lot of people.
There's a good chance that the only reason why it's releasing this early is because they're trying to make it look like they made more money in 2022. Like, it's a good point that he makes here, and it's actually not wrong.
When I say that Dragonflight just might be the last straw for any actively playing World of Warcraft people clinging on to the hope that the...
I feel like if you played through Quazii, you will play through anything in Dragonflight. Like, if you dealt with Quazii, like, I swear to God, like, the music that it made, like, that music, just hearing it in my mind gives me depression. It was so bad.
The expansion will be the charm. Blizzard used to be good at one bad expansion, one good expansion. One bad, one good.
Yeah.
We had 2 bad expansions in a row, BFA Shadowlands. This is the last bastion of hope now for people. Dragonflight. Some people say 3rd time lucky. I am not too optimistic given that...
That's a good way to say it. And here's how I think of it. If the game is good, I'll play the game. If the game is bad, I'll play another game. That's about it. I really hope the game is good. A lot of the things that they've announced are promising. But that's about it. You'll still play it? Yeah, I like WoW. What's wrong with that? Yeah, I like the game. I mean, like, what? We don't know anything about it? Yes, you do. You know a lot about Dragonflight. Like, you've got an idea. There's going to be no borrowed power systems. There's going to be talent points again. That's fucking huge.
The timeline. Again,
Platinum,
from all their communications, they keep saying that they are listening to the World of Warcraft community.
Yeah.
I am now going to grab my popcorn and see how they're going to listen to community feedback in 6 months.
Yeah.
And still polish the game and implement changes
He's right.
in time for launch. Or maybe this is a 5,000 IQ play because, hey, they don't have to listen to feedback if there's simply no time from people to give feedback because there is no time to play the beta and alpha.
That's smart. You're right. Like, yeah, they can't, there's no, yeah, you can't listen to feedback if you don't get any feedback. And like, oh, well, we didn't get any feedback. Well, we didn't have a beta. Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Maybe. Who knows? At this point in time, watching their decisions regarding World of Warcraft is actually becoming more entertaining than playing the game itself.
This is what happened with New World. Is that I actually thought New World became a more entertaining game over time, but in order to attain that level of excitement and enjoyment over New World, you had to take into account the fact that the game's, the drama around the game, you had to view the duping as a content patch. Like, next time there was like a big Reddit thread about it, or like everybody was really mad, you had to view that as content.
Actually put out the pre-order. Keeping in mind, they have not released a lot of the details I spoke about. They have actually put the pre-order up. And there are already people buying the pre-order. And for the people who bought the pre-order, as a concept called optionality.
Who bought the pre-order, guys? Who pre-ordered Dragonflight? Who did it? Me? Damn. Wow. There's a lot of people. Holy shit. I did. Me. Wow. Look at that. Oh my God. McConnell. Dude, you're outvoted. Bobby's getting a new yacht no matter what.
That you need to understand. You can opt to buy the pre-order now, or you can opt to pre-order at a later date. And maybe they have released more details regarding the expansion. Maybe they have released more talent trees for us to look at. It will still cost the same. You will still get the same rewards. But this is why they are entirely capable of suddenly announcing a launch date like that, and they can definitely count on people to still buy the expansion, because I guess the copium in 2022 is still going on strong. In fact, I think the World of Warcraft fanbase is single-handedly keeping the copium industry going. They are probably the biggest exporter as well as importer and consumers of copium, single-handedly in the entire world.
The problem is that he's right. Like, he's really right. I mean, like, yeah, WoW players just really hope the game's gonna be good. That's it. We really want it to be good. And this time, listen, guys, Blizzard's listening this time. They're gonna listen to all of our feedback. They're gonna take what we say and they're gonna change the game, and it's gonna be great. Like, players, we hear you. We know what your problems are, and we care.
Incredible. Have we learned nothing from rushed expansion at all? Have we learned nothing from Battle for Azeroth? Have we learned nothing from Shadowlands? And naturally, there'll be people like, ha ha ha, but you haven't even seen the alpha. Maybe when they show the alpha will be amazing and it'll be so complete. Then my question is, why hasn't the alpha started? If the alpha is so complete, if the alpha is so far along, why hasn't the alpha started? Why are we
I think we're going to get the alpha this week, okay? I do. I think we're going to get the... It's a good point, right? I think we're going to get alpha this week. And I'll tell you why I think it's possible. It's because Blizzard, the reason why Blizzard had a bunch of problems with like Shadowlands and BFA is because they were managing and trying to microbalance 5 different systems against each other through 3 different methods of play: Mythic Plus, solo content, PvP, and raiding. Like, that's 4 or 5, but like, you see what I'm saying, right? So it was impossible for them to do that. That's where all their development time went into. So I don't think it's unreasonable for them to release it early. This week for sure,
away
guys.
From the release of this and the alpha hasn't started. For the argument of, oh, they stopped development in Shadowlands to focus on Dragonflight, sure, okay, cool, I understand that. But why is it so far they have not given us much information other than 2 talent trees, a new race, a new class, just a look at their models and animation, by the way, some new dragon mount flying animation, and a cinematic...
This is a good point. Maybe the alpha is going to come out this week and it's going to be so good. Or maybe that's not going to happen.
Like, why other than these things we have not heard about other stuff? Are they really that far along? And if Dragonflight is really that fleshed out and that far along, why is it when they first teased the expansion announcement by showing us that cinematic, why didn't they tell us it's coming at the end of the year? Because, I mean, they have really taken so much time off the development of Shadowlands to work on Dragonflight, right? Surely if it's that far along, they could have told us back then it's coming in the year 2022, but they didn't. So it feels like this announcement is a knee-jerk reaction to something.
It would have been yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, again, these are all good points if you look at it from the most skeptical position possible, which I think is fair, especially given the history.
And I don't know whether it's linked to the rumored Diablo Immortal, failed launch in China, where the game is unable to launch as per schedule. And I'm sure you and I probably know why. Look, as someone who followed World of Warcraft for the longest time, who played World of Warcraft for the longest time, like I said, there was a glimmer of hope that we were looking forward to, that Dragonflight might be good. Maybe they learned their lesson, but nope. I think I've seen all I need to see. So anyway, thanks for listening to this TED Talk. I know a lot of you wanted me to react to this. And naturally, I know this video is going to be contentious. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Am I the only one who think this is extremely rushed? Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more from me. Or if you totally hate my guts on this take, feel free to leave your comments below. I'll see you in the next video.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. I mean, I really hope it's good, guys. I'm going to say that. I really, really, really hope it's good. And homie played through all Final Fantasy. Yeah, we keep supporting WoW. I mean, like, the thing is, like, people will always move away from the game slowly. Like, I think that Blizzard should actually take, he's not out of line, but no, I don't think he's out of line at all. I think this is a reasonable perspective. We watch a lot of Quazii's videos. Make sure to give it a like and a sub. I think it's very well put together. I agree with pretty much everything that he said. There was a time whenever we didn't hope. I mean, we knew. I didn't really... I've always been kind of skeptical. It should be made harder to get into raids. It filters out the weaklings from attempting content they should not be doing. This includes dailies and grinds throughout the entire expansion. One of the good things about Legion and BFA is that the people who put in work are dedicated. There's a part of me that agrees with him. And that same part of me says that raids shouldn't be half of the content in a patch. I do think that, yes, raids maybe can have attunements again. Maybe they can be harder. But if you want to make content that's that hard and that isolating, then it can't be the flagship of the patch. Because it just doesn't appeal to most people. That's it. You see kind of what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that, again, with WoW, and this is what I said the other day, and he was clearly not baiting. This is actually what his opinion is. We'll talk about this. I think that if you go back 5 years ago, and instead of making a raid, you took half of the effort that went into the raid, let's say the raid had half as many bosses, and all of the effort that went into programming that other half of the bosses and that other half of the raid went into making content like the Greenfire questline, the Mage Tower, Darkmoon Fair, or something similar to that. If you did that, would the game be in a better state than it is now? 5 years ago, and you had all of that content built up to this point into the game. I think that any reasonable person would be saying, yes, way better, 1,000 times better. So the problem is that they're not doing that. That's what the issue is. And so what do you guys think? Also, like, making the game and building the content around people that play it professionally, I don't think is a good idea. I'm gonna be honest. I think that it's ridiculous that the Jailer has been nerfed 40 times. Why did the Jailer get nerfed 40 times? Because every time that the Jailer gets nerfed, that is development time that goes into the game. They should have released them nerfed, let people clear the fucking raid. It's still gonna be really hard. Who gives a fuck about the 0.1% of players who want a harder challenge? Make the last boss harder, make some optional hard mode or some bullshit like that. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't think that they should be developing the game for this extreme 1% of players or 0.1% of players. I think that the idea that the race to world first or top 10 guilds, the behavior of top 10 guilds should not even be on Blizzard's radar. It should not have anything to do with the game. They should not even think about it. They should not even look at it. They should not even, there's nothing to do with it. I am so sick of these raids being developed with these super intricate, massively complex mechanics, and the raids are fucking dead. Look at this. Here, I'm gonna go and show you guys something, and I'm gonna show you how fucking dead these raids are and how bad of a fucking decision this is. We will look at the statistics of how many people clear Sunwell, and this is Sunwell, by the way, not Black Temple. And how many people are clearing Sepulchre, okay? So, we have, this is the amount of people that have done Sunwell. There are 700,000 parses purely for Destruction Warlocks. This is one spec, 700,000 parses. There are also 300, 200,000, 180,000, 167,000. This is how many people are raiding and progressing in Sunwell and parsing it. This is Mythic Sepulchre. God, I fucking love numbers. I fucking love them. Because they mean that I'm right. People play Mythic Plus in retail. I don't think that's an argument for what you think it is. I'm not saying retail is dead. I'm saying raiding is dead. I'm saying raiding is so much less popular than it was before. Can you explain the graphics? What do you want them to do? Raids are the most engaging content WoW can shit out. Here's what I want them to do. I want them to massively tone down the difficulty in raids. I think that it's ridiculous. I think raids should not be designed on the idea that the success metric of a raid is that a world first guild full of people who professionally play the game 16 hours a day and are the most organized group of people that are on the payroll of an entire organization can't clear it in a week. This should not be a determining factor. This should have nothing to do with it. The entire issue with this is that the raiding content in the game is plays too big of a role in the game. Too few players do it. The content is massively overtuned. There are too many pass-fail mechanics that wipe the entire raid, and those mechanics are clearly fatiguing, and there are less and less people that complete them every single tier. Let's stop doing this. Let's stop making content for the 1% of players and make content that makes the game better. Devs have infinitely more knowledge of what people do than anyone else could ever have. It's clearly not true that developers have more knowledge than the players do about the game. Because if that happened, why is it that the developers keep implementing the players' ideas? Why is that? It's because the players they understand the game better. Like, why are bugs in the game for years? It's because the devs, yes, they understand the game very well, but no, I don't think that they are the end-all and be-all. Absolutely not. What's this here? Even if someone defends the current rating system, subs have been going down, so it's time to try something different. It's time to try a lot of things different. Most Final Fantasy is geared towards casual play. They tried raids being only for 1.0, and it was a bad idea. Well, okay, so then why should WoW keep doing it? I don't think raids should be... it's not like they should delete raids. I just think that the amount of development and time into, like, min-maxing them is stupid. I think it's stupid. I think that raids should be a lot easier. Like, straight up, raids are way too hard nowadays. They are way too fucking hard, and there are more and more people that can't do them. I will use an example of my mom. So, my mom in Vanilla WoW raided pretty regularly. She did stuff with her guild all of the time. In Burning Crusade, she was always complaining about the fact that they made her tank whenever she was a Moonkin in Karazhan. She was pissed off about this all the time. By the time Wrath of the Lich King came out, mechanics were a lot harder. She did a little bit of Nax, but she stopped raiding because a lot of things happened too fast for her to keep up with. Guess what? I think there's a lot of people like her over time that have just slowly moved away from the game. And that's why Classic WoW and the raiding population in Classic WoW is so much more successful and so much bigger than what we have here in retail WoW. That's it. And old expansions seem to have equal distribution of effort across open world questing. Yeah, I think Zereth Mortis, I will say this, Zereth Mortis is actually good. I genuinely think that Zereth Mortis is a good raid. Or, sorry, a good zone. I think it's good. Overall, all things considered. Let me see here. How do you know as much as development power goes into specifically mythic raids? You don't know it, you're just speculating. Okay. So, how many people do you think were involved in the nerfing of the jailer? Because, like, so... I do have the... You're right. You are right that I am speculating to a degree. You're absolutely right. You're true and real. But I think I'm right on my speculation, by the way. However, I also think that I am not completely... this is not complete speculation. Money Man with the 5 to the subs. Blizzard does not just... It's not like there's one guy that just is like, yeah, let's, cut his health in half. Make that ability do less damage. How much? 20%. That's not what happens. Right? They test this stuff all the time. They like hyper fucking min-max this. Yeah, that's what it is. So developing games borders on art. Why should players or art enjoyers control what the artist does? It's not about control, it's about feedback. I am giving my feedback. I think that they are going down a bad path. And I am giving the feedback based off of the numbers that are provided publicly. Yes, I think that this is my feedback to the game. The same as you give feedback on my stream. A lot of people give it in a bad way, and I ban them. But there are many people that provide feedback, and I do not ban them, and I listen to what they say. And usually I disagree with it, but I do hear what they say. That's what it is.